It's a time for pick it from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the new Anbernic RG351mp. That stands for Metal Pro. The question remains, what are we going to get in the inside? And I just want to do a quick review, unboxing. Yeah, there are some things you need to know, so stay tuned. Let's go. But what do I think of the Anbernic brand and the handhelds in general? So the thing that annoys me the most is like they are shitting them out like crazy. Every single, let's say couple of months, they are releasing a new model. And that's quite annoying in my opinion. But this handheld in general, oh boy, like this thing is mind freaking blowing. It looks so good, and that blue color, oh man, that is really fancy. They are releasing it also like the other colors. I think it was gray and black and a couple maybe other versions in the future. But let's take a close look at this one later. First, let's do a quick unboxing. What's inside? Okay, so what I really like about these handhelds, and I mean like the premium brands, that we're going to get actually like a good explanation how the handheld works with the manual. It's like the deluxe editions of the toilet paper manuals we have seen before, but this time it got some good explanations. So if you have a problem, you can always like check out the manual, just read it, because there are a lot of information that you just need to know for basically working with the device. We're going to get wipes, because with the wipes you just can clean the handheld and get yourself the screen protector on. And then we're going to get the Type-C cable. Finally, freaking Type-C, and not a lot of handhelds from China use this. And of course, this was the biggest bummer already, and in my opinion, an epic fail. It's like they didn't have the Wi-Fi ready. I think it was a chip shortage or they had some issues. In the end, they're just going to give you an adapter and a Wi-Fi dongle. It's a solution, but my opinion, it's more like, dude, just wait that you can get yourself the handheld ready to go. So the first generation, and it's going to be like messy later on when they're going to release one with the Wi-Fi chip, because then you need to be very careful which one to buy. I think Anbernic is one of the brands that basically sells a lot of these handhelds with a metal shell. I love it, I really like it, and for cooling it's even better. But the question remains, do you like the weight of it? Because this thing, oh boy, you're going to get yourself some beefcake arms using it. So with the beefcake arm, I was of course joking, but when you're looking at the handheld itself, 267 grams. And yeah, if you're going to look at different handhelds, it's going to be slightly the same, or it's going to be... Okay, but what are we going to get? So first of all, what I love about the Anbernic handhelds are the D-pad. I am the D-pad fetish guy, and I love myself some D-pad, and this thing is amazing. Select start, A, B, X, Y, and these buttons feel like a really premium quality product. The travel is quite long, but I think that's not a problem. Then we're going to get two joysticks, are similar to the Nintendo Switch. Personally, I really like it. At the top, we're going to get L1, L2, R1, R2, and we're going to get two Type-C connections. One for charging, another one for hooking up some extra things, for example, a Wi-Fi dongle. Then we're going to get a headphone jack out. At the back, we're going to get two rubber strips for basically give it some more grip. Not necessary, because I have like this yoga mat laying here while making this video. And nope, I'm not doing yoga. At the bottom part, we're going to get two audio speakers for stereo sound. And these things sound quite good. And then we're going to get two inputs for the CF cards and the reset button, and sometimes you just need it. But what I like about this, like in the last couple of revision of handhelds, normally there was one CF card in the inside with the firmware, but they basically moved it to the outside. So now we can change out one of the CF cards, so if you want to do an update when it comes to the firmware. So at the left side we're going to get volume control. That is not always with every single handheld, and then we're going to get the on and off switch. So let's turn it on. But let's talk about the firmware itself. It also comes including a vibration motor, and here we're going to get the LED for indication of the battery. Okay, so with the firmware, there is something I just need to tell you. So my good buddy from the Retro Gamecore channel did an amazing video about all the different firmware that are ready to go, and in the future he makes a lot of different, let's say, update videos, what kind of firmwares they are basically getting for this device. It comes pre-installed with Emulation, so this is what we're going to look at today. Maybe in the future, if you want to, we can just make an update about the firmware, or you can check his channel, because he does an amazing job, a lot of great tutorials. Retro Gamecore, I am your fan. Alright, so it's time for the nerdy talk where we're going to talk about specifications. So the body type is the aluminum version. Then we're going to get the CPU is the Rockchip 3326. That is a quad core on 1.5 GHz. The GPU is a Mali G31mp2. Then we're going to get RAM 1 GB. The display is a 3.5 inch beautiful IPS that has a resolution of 640 by 480. And then we're going to get the battery that is a 3500 mAh. So with premium devices nowadays we're going to get a beautiful IPS display, and that is something you didn't have with the cheap devices back in the day. And Anbernic, I can say like they are doing a very nice job with this. So what I understand of the situations, like with the previous model I've reviewed, this is the 351V model. And with this model we had like the Game Boy style look-alike, but we're going to get like the original aspect ratio or something that gets really close to the original one. Because that's just a major problem with these devices back in the day. They were also going to get wide screens. And basically what you did is like, or you're going to get the widescreen stretch game, or you're going to get bezels that with software. But overall now we're going to get the nice display that a lot of people were asking for. It's not something new because we have seen it before with a different model, but now we're going to get one in a different shell. So basically, if you want to have a display like this, you can get yourself like the Game Boy look-alike, or you can get yourself a landscape model. But let's talk about what can you play. So first of all, when you're looking at this device, you can play a lot of different kind of systems, especially when it comes to the 8-bit, 16-bit games, let's say Genesis, Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance stuff, it will run just fine. The previous model could run them fine. The only difference is now we're going to get the very nice resolution in combination with aspect ratio that we always wanted. But then we're going to get the option to play arcade, but don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat 1 will run, but when you get into the, let's say the Tekken tags and the stuff like Mortal Kombat 2, 3, Killer Instinct, you will have like a lot of issues. And Nintendo DS is a great example. I do like the system for like Nintendo DS, but we're playing on this, you're still missing out in display, so you need to switch between them. I'm not a big fan of it. CPS3, stuff like that will run just fine. But when we go to test out some Dreamcast and some other stuff like PlayStation Portable, there we're going to get some significant differences. But let's take a close look at it. So first let's start with some N64 Cruise in the USA. This is a game that doesn't run very well in general, or like say on many handhelds, or you need to get yourself a really expensive one. But the reason I show you this, there are some games that will be running okay or playable, but there will be a lot of them that are not playable at all. And I have no idea how to basically try to play the freaking game. Oh, they mapped it on a very strange location. But in my opinion, this is like freaking awful. We need to do remapping on this thing. Just wanted to show you out of the box what you get. Glitching! Okay, so I started basically this review quite negative when it comes to the gameplay. But I just wanted to point out that like not every single system will run perfectly, even they put it in the main menu or an option to add yourself. So but if you just want to play some Wolfie and some beefcake dudes, it's just fine. 16-bit runs perfectly. But then is the question, do you need to buy a handheld like this for this kind of amount of money for only 16-bit games? Okay, next up, let's play some Sega Dreamcast. But the same story applies with the N64. It's going to be a mixed bag. But if you're going to install some different firmware in the future, it's highly possible that it gets a slightly better, let's say, performance, and you can play these games. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a quick gameplay of the PlayStation 1 part. A great example is like, here you can see like the D-pad plays amazing. Like this is so important with games like Crash Bandicoot or fighting games. Let's try the analog stick. Of course the right one doesn't do anything. Ooh, let's bounce baby. Yeah, that was not the way I wanted to do that. Oh, boing, 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 boing. I love the music, man, and I love the speakers in this thing. And holy crap, this goes freaking loud. Okay, but when you're going to get into PlayStation Portable, here it's going to get kind of weird, because the original PlayStation Portable does has a 60:9 aspect ratio LCD display. So now we're going to squeeze it back to 4:3. Okay, this is a great example. So this game seems to be running just fine, or fine for a device like this. But the reason why, because some of the games, and it's the same story with N64, Sega Dreamcast, are not really high demandable games, so you can still play them. And again, so it's going to be a mixed performance when it comes to PlayStation Portable. But it's pretty cool to see like we can actually play some Darius on this. But when it comes to PlayStation Portable, it's quite naughty, and the reason is very simple. They set it to frame skip 1, and that's the reason why some of the games will run okay on this. So when pressing both joysticks at the same time in game, we're going to get into the RetroArch menu. And what I like about this, if you just want to just mess around with it, you want to try out some different, let's say, emulators. With some of them it is possible, and here we can mess around with it, and again we can maybe improve it in the future. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to get with the RG351mp. Oh man, I needed to think about it for a second. So the handheld itself, I really love the quality. So Anbernic brings this absolutely to a new level. Displays are great, the shells are great. I don't get why they choose for the MP or the Metal Pro in the beginning, that they're not going to give us the option for plastic. Those will be cheaper and lighter, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think device of this. Do you own an Anbernic, and what is your experience in general? I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Get family, and I will see you in the next video.